Welcome back to the channel and welcome to this episode of Mark's Garage. Today is Sunday, September 29th. Sunday being Packer game day. I'm going to the game today, so I've got my Packer gear on. All set for that. We're playing the Vikings, so that should be a lot of fun. But why I'm doing this video, I'm just getting ready here to talk a little bit about more Honda Goldwing Tour DCT. I recently did a video that took a real close look at all the things that I like on the bike, and there's an awful lot of them. But today I'm kicking this off with a number of things that I think Honda could do better at. So these are things that I dislike a little bit. Not that I hate them, but I think there's room for improvement. So we're going to get started with covering a few of those, and that's next. So everybody knows when you stop for fuel, you've got a little door here on the right. You open up, you press the release switch here. That pops open this fuel door. And then, of course, right there you have your cap. But what I want to get at, and I'm not going to show this, but you know if you own a Goldwing, when you get to filling the tank and it gets near the top, the tank top narrows so much that most of the time you get a little bit of spurt of fuel back. And I think Honda could improve that process for the owner. It's a real pain. I don't like it. All right, let's talk about one more thing Honda can consider doing, since this is a $30,000 motorcycle. This is the foot peg right here that comes with the bike. So it's about 4 inches left to right there on the rubber. It's fairly small, and I think Honda really should consider doing something like this, which is a mini floorboard. This is Gold Strike, a mini floorboard. Really like these, easy to install. And I think it just improves the overall look and then how your foot fits on this touring motorcycle. So Honda, if you're listening, please consider an upgraded foot peg floorboard. All right, here's another thing that I don't necessarily like. It has to do with the seat. Overall, the seat is pretty decent, but what I would tell you when it comes time to do some maintenance and you got to take the seat off, you know, it's pretty interesting. There's a lot involved. You have to take these side covers here out of the way so that you can access seat bolts that are right roughly in that area, one on each side. So you take the seat bolts off, and they have themselves, there's a collar and a washer. I replaced mine with some one-piece tapered seat bolts. It makes it a lot easier. So then to take the seat on and off is a little bit strange. You've got some grommet and fingers that go here to the front. You have to be careful not to scratch that. And then it's a little funky in the back when you put the seat on to get the seat back far enough so the holes line up for the seat bolts. So I think it's a little bit tenuous, not terrible. I'm used to it. I'm good at it now. But I think that's something that Honda could look at to just make that seat removal a lot easier for the average person. All right, let's talk a little bit about the windscreen. And the windscreen you see here is an aftermarket. This is from F4 Customs, and it isn't the largest one that they make. I believe this is the intermediate size. And if we go over here, we might be able to see just a little bit of the shape here. It's got that little bit of a curl at the top. But anyway, the standard windscreen on the Honda Goldwing, it's okay. But once you put an aftermarket screen on like this, it gives you a couple more inches in width, and it really helps airflow. You are really going to like it. So I think that was probably the other thing I didn't like, was just the stock windscreen, and upgrading to this has really made a nice difference. All right, well, Honda has these nicely integrated, they look great. These are the panniers, left and right panniers. They're a little bit different size left to right, but I'm going to just tell you that, you know, from this point where the carpet is less than 4 inches, and kind of all the way to the back here to the front is a little less than 8 inches. And so there just is not, you know, a significant amount of room. You've got to plan accordingly what you're going to put in there. So I think if Honda were looking at doing some redesign of the side panniers, they did a great job of enlarging the trunk. That was probably easier. But I think the consideration of how do you make the side panniers a little larger would be great. So they're not terrible, but I'd sure like to see that improved. All right, I'm down here, the left rear part of the motorcycle, and underneath the saddlebag, of course, there is your tire. And one of the things I don't like is how hard it is to get to the rear wheel. You really have to put the bike on the center stand to be able to put air in the tire. And so it's just a little hard to be able to get at this. And I think it's the saddlebag, it's the muffler system underneath, and if the bike's on the side stand, it's almost impossible to get under there reasonably. So you have to put the bike on the center stand, and it's just one thing I don't necessarily like. Thank you for tuning in and watching this episode of Mark's Garage and hearing a little bit about my opinions about just a couple of things on the Honda Goldwing that could be better, things that I don't necessarily enjoy or like, but certainly deal with. And please, in the comments section, if you could list anything that you think where Honda could make some improvements or things you don't necessarily care for, that would be great. So thanks again for watching. And as always, and until next time, take care.